It's mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham, ready and eager to answer all of your questions. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, and if you Super Chat, you can jump the line. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into it here. We got Tony Fuentes. Will the Chiefs be healthy Sunday? Well, we know Trent McDuffie is out because he's on IR. We'll see what the rest of the injury report looks like later on in the week. These were kind of the injuries coming out of the Chargers game. We already knew about McDuffie, obviously. Mike Adano's got a calf. McCole Hardman and Justin Watson, minor injuries, ankle and shoulder. But I think all in all, this is a team that's pretty healthy, all things considered. Wayne Neal, who could we get to help with the secondary? I don't know if the secondary needs that much help. I liked what Jaylen Watson did. I think your safeties are pretty good with Juan Thornhill and Justin Reed. And, you know, Fenton didn't play great, but I expect him to play better. Once McDuffie comes back, that'll help. I think you can get by with what you have now. Now, if you lose another corner on top of McDuffie, yeah, you'll have to make a move probably. But I think for now you're okay. You still have Josh Williams, who didn't even play a snap last week, ready to play if needed. So I think for now this team is okay. Joe Fazio, why isn't Skyy Moore playing very much? That's a good question. I think there's a couple things. One, Justin Watson continues to impress. When he plays, he makes plays. Number two, Skyy Moore is a rookie. There could be more learning curve there. You know, I would say those are the two main reasons. Are you going to play Skyy Moore over JuJu, MVS, or Hardman? I thought coming into camp maybe MVS, but they paid MVS. He's going to play. I mean, he just is. Hardman, he's shown more to me than Skyy Moore up to this point. So I think those are the main reasons. He's kind of wide receiver 4 with Justin Watson right now, and I think Watson's making more plays. So you got to play the guy that's getting you better production. Dale Webb Jr. sign OBJ and Chris Harris. Sure, Chris Harris give you some depth on the back end. Odell Beckham Jr. would give you a nice number 1 receiver when healthy. So, yeah, I wouldn't say no to that, not whatsoever. Get to the next question here, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. We could go to the Nameless Wonder. I kind of like that. Wayne says, who could we sign to help our secondary? Oh, we already answered that. Someone just said Chris Harris, Wayne. That could be interesting. He's out there. Rashad Breeland's still out there. He sucked last year, but if you want to go back down that road, you could certainly do that. The Nameless Wonder. How did this happen? Should Jaylen Watson start over Rashad Fenton once Trent McDuffie comes back? This will be an interesting development because Trent McDuffie's on IR, so he's going to miss another 3 games. Rashad Fenton got outplayed, in my opinion, by Watson in Week 2. Now, let's see how the next 3 weeks go, but I do think Jaylen Watson deserves more opportunities. Fenton was really good last year. He was really good last year. But he's had some injuries, came into camp banged up, etc. Let's see how this goes over the next few weeks. I think for now, Fenton's ahead of him in the pecking order, but if Watson has a couple more interceptions or makes some big plays, that could change very, very soon. Now pick a cornerback. Type JW for Jaylen Watson. Type RF for Rashad Fenton. Who would you rather roll with in this matchup? Let us know down in the comments section. Laura Ortiz, do you think Lucas Niang can be considered a bust, and should we see or use a first next draft on a tackle? Possible. You could draft a right tackle in the first round next year. I wouldn't go bust yet because when Niang played last year before the injury, he actually was pretty solid. Now, he's not Orlando Brown. You know, I don't think he's an all-pro caliber guy, but you got him in the 3rd round, and he was playing like a starting caliber tackle. I think when he's fully healthy, he is still your best right tackle, although I'll commend Andrew Wiley. I think he's stepped in and done his job the last year or so, second half of last year and early on this year. I'm not ready to label him a bust because when he's played well. COVID opt-out, now he's hurt. He just hadn't played a ton of NFL football yet. From Jay, who do you think are some potential trade or signed targets? I think we could trade Chase Claypool after this year. Trade for him. Yeah, maybe after this year. We'll see how that Steelers wide receiver core kind of comes together. If George Pickens kind of finds a larger role there, they could go Deontay Johnson, George Pickens as their 1-2 and trade Claypool, try to get some draft capital. That would be a possibility. You get a big physical weapon here in Kansas City. Remember, Juju's on a 1-year deal, so Claypool could replace him if you go that route. So I wouldn't completely hate that. I think that's an interesting name. Mike Frankovich Sr., who will have the most receptions and yards? Are you talking about all year or in this matchup? All year it's going to be Travis Kelce. But if you're taking tight ends out of it, I'll still go JuJu will lead the team in catches and yards, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone else. But I will lean JuJu as the number one receiver at this point. Czar816, what's the deal with Niang and Kinnard? Not sure on Kinnard. Niang still recovering from that torn patellar tendon. That's a nasty injury, man. It's a nasty injury. That's the injury that Kelechi Osemele had a couple years ago, and he's just now getting back, trying to work out for teams this year. So, yeah, hopefully we see Niang at some point, but who knows? Kinnard, I don't think he's as progressed far along as they were hoping in terms of ability. This might be kind of a redshirt year for him, and then next year maybe he plays a factor. BetUS, our sportsbook partner here at the Chiefs Report, and if you want to make some money all season long, go do it with BetUS, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125 to get 125% deposit bonus. The betting odds for this one, Chiefs 7-point favorites. Total over/under is 49.5. As Vegas projecting, basically with those lines, like a 28-21 game in favor of the Chiefs. What did I say, Trace? 28-17, 31-17, I think 28-17. So I guess I like the Chiefs to cover and the under this week. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125 to get started with BetUS. Jafazio, what did the Chargers do differently that caused Kansas City so much trouble? Will we see that model copied throughout the rest of the teams we face? I don't know if they did a ton differently. I think they have more personnel than the Cardinals do. Khalil Mack's been a beast this year. They have Joey Bosa. Cardinals don't have pass rushers like that, especially while J.J. Watt is hurt. They've got J.C. Jackson on the back end. Asante Samuel Jr. played really well. Derwin James is a really good player. That's a good defense, man. I think Mahomes missed a couple of reads, a couple throws that he normally either would make or just wouldn't throw. I wouldn't say it's some repeatable model where the Chiefs' offense is going to struggle, though. I think they still did some fine things. It's just Chargers play pretty well. Jeremy in Tucson, do we think we can sweep the AFC West? It's possible. I still think they'll probably lose a game to somebody, though. I think 4-2, 5-1 is probably what you're going to be looking at. Raiders 0-2, not a good start. Chargers 1-1, but they played the Chiefs close. Now we got to go to L.A. later on in the season. Denver has not been pretty early on here, but they still have Russell Wilson. We'll see how that goes, but is it possible, Jeremy? Yes. Would I predict it? Probably not. I think they'll probably drop a game or two in this division. I still think it's a quality division in the AFC West. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, answer this question. Who is your favorite Chiefs player ever? Maybe it's a current player, but if not, let me know. Who is it? Derek Thomas? Is it Jamal Charles? Is it Mahomes? I want to know. Who is your favorite Chief of all time? I want to read them in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button here on the Chiefs Report. These live mailbags only come live on Monday, so if you want to get your questions in, you got to subscribe and join us on Monday. So hit that sub button, turn on those notifications, and we will continue to go live every single Monday. Terry Singleton, do you think JuJu will get more involved in the offense, or do you think he's doing okay? I mean, I think overall it's fine. He had 6 for 79 in the opener. 3 for 10 in the second game isn't great, but I do think he'll get a little bit more involved. But I'm also like, oh no, JuJu's not doing great. I think it's been fine so far. They're spreading the wealth around. Justin Watson had a long touchdown. Hardman had a couple of long catches, so I'm not overly concerned. But I do think he'll get a few more targets this week. Last question on this mailbag. Brett Lutz, do you think the Raiders will no longer be a threat to the Chiefs after this Week 2 collapse? I mean, they're already 2 games in the hole, man. But the Raiders and Chiefs play each other twice, so if they're able to win one or both of those, then they'd be right back in it. But, yeah, the Raiders are kicking themselves after that collapse of the Cardinals. I'm not that concerned about Vegas right now. Appreciate all your questions. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HGramNFL. Slide in the DMs if you have any questions. If we don't answer them here on YouTube, I can answer them over there. So it's at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. Give me a follow. Slide in the DMs. They are always open.